Well, you ready to do another one?
I'm not even in.
Oh, you are too.
There we go. All right. Get her going, buddy. I'm chunky.
We're both really chunky, and I've lost weight. But anyways, welcome back. This is gonna be
Number dos.
two, and there'll be a lot more coming. First video was a lot of us just rambling. We hit on a lot of topics, and this one we're gonna gear it really towards broadheads and
I'm tired.
Sorry, mechanicals, fixed blade. Like I said, we kind of touched on it, but this one's going to be a lot of experiences and things that I've done and what he's done. So
I didn't really do much.
point in hand. But
You just tell me what to shoot.
Right, because of experience.
Yep.
But anyways, we're gonna get right into it. You know, there's a guy on the internet, the Ranch Fairy, swears up and down, fixed blade broadheads, heavy, 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 heavy. That is all fine and hunky dory. But
I don't really care for the Ranch Fairy.
he puts out good information.
Okay.
The only thing that I don't like is he's heavy, heavy, heavy. Okay? And shot placement. I'm not a big fan on that. You know, because in my eyes, when you're talking, oh, a quartering two shot, oh, hard quartering away shot. Okay, common sense tells you. Common sense is going to tell you, yeah, that's going to penetrate better than something like this. Duh. Anybody knows that's got a brain. This is not going to outperform this on a hard quartering away or quartering two shot. Now, will this kill him? Yes. Will this kill him? Yes. Will any other mechanical out there kill him? Yes. But I will say there are mechanicals that you should stay away from. Can't really go wrong with a fixed blade. So all you fixed blade guys, oh, fixed blade, everything. Yeah, we know. Okay. Anybody that's been bow hunting that's got over 10 years experience knows this is a true non-fail deal. It's always going to do its job. This, not so much. But set those right there for now again. But like I said, he talks about shot placement, you know. Totally agree when it comes to, I mean, he puts out good deals when he does the anatomy, you know, on a pig and other animals and stuff. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to, I think he calls it the vital V. You know, yeah, that's where you want to shoot a deer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Gun, bow, wherever. Yeah, that is your primary mark to be able to do it. I wish I had, you know, something a little more to be able to show, but I mean, he'll show you, okay? But he's also going to sit there and say, oh, you got to shoot an adult arrow, 600 grain, blah, 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 blah. I can tell you from experience, no, you don't. Does it help? Yeah, sure. It'll help. But there's more people out there, John Dudley, a few of his friends, MFJJ. There's guys out there that'll tell you, you don't. And in all honesty, none of those guys are wrong. And the Range Fairy isn't really wrong either, except when he comes to shot placement. Oh, hard quartering two shot. You know, you got to get in there. Don't take a hard quartering two shot to try and bust through that front shoulder. It ain't worth it. It still isn't a guarantee that you're going to bust through enough, that you're going to bust through that shoulder blade enough to get into where you need to. Yeah, you might bust that front shoulder, but you still might only hit one lung. Nothing's 100% foolproof when it comes to bow hunting. Not a one. Some of you will be like, oh, why contradict yourself when it comes to shooting a mechanical? I've never had a mechanical fail on me in all the years that I've been hunting with them. I've even got a design that I would love to get with a broadhead company because I think I've got a true foolproof plan, and I'll admit Bomar damn near hit it on the head with his two blade. Um, I think that's a really really good broadhead from everything I've seen with people putting it through tests and everything else. I think I would have to say hands down that's probably one of the best mechanical broadheads out on the market right now. But I think I could give them a run for our money for a design that I have that I would look for that I know would be a mix of a lot of the other mechanicals out there that would be almost as good as shooting a fixed blade. And I'll almost say, G5 is really close to what I'm looking at for doing, but it's not the same. It's not like what Muzzy did with their shank and a Schwacker. I mean that's almost copycatted right through. But Schwacker's good broadhead, good design. Never had any fails with a Schwacker. I never had any fails with a Rage. I never had any fails with a fixed blade. I maybe I need to knock on some wood, but I've been bow hunting since I was 9 years old. I've never had a broadhead fail on me, whether I'm shooting a fixed blade or a mechanical. It hasn't happened. But that being said, 99.9% of my shots are the slight quartering away or broadside shots only, to where there's not going to be that deflection with shooting a mechanical when it enters the deer. A lot of my shots on the deer are 10 to 25 yards, the average bow hunting shot. I'll be the first minute. Yeah, I've shot deer at 65 yards with my bow. Used a mechanical, even used a Raged. Punch clean through. Hell of a blood trail. Deer ran 40 yards, plopped over dead. The shot was further than what the deer ran. But I'm a firm believer that you can go into any sporting goods store, Shields, Cabela's, Bass Pro, Academy, Sportsman's Warehouse, you name it. Any of your local guys. Or for that matter, off of Amazon if you buy stuff from Amazon. You screw a good quality broadhead on there. I'm not saying don't do your research on the broadhead. Please do. You'll kill deer. You'll kill elk or whatever animal that you want to go after, but just be smart about it. Use common sense. God gave you a brain. Please use it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't used mine in quite a bit, quite a few times for the shot placements I've taken on deer.
A lot goes into play. I'll be the first to admit. Your adrenaline gets going and everything else, but that's the sport of everything is, can you control your emotions to be able to make that good, ethical shot?
I can.
And and part of the reason you don't bow hunt is because of that. You haven't learned to really control it.
Yeah.
But you only get better with practice.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty. And you gotta know your limits with bow hunting. That is I think number one. Know your limit when it comes to bow hunting. If you're only shooting 50 pounds, by all means, please do not, I repeat, do not shoot a mechanical broadhead. Okay? You're going to ask for failure. Even with these newer bows, 50 pounds, out of a newer Matthews, whatever, You'll get lucky every once in a while, but in my eyes, I wouldn't do it. I would fixed blade. Shoot the fixed blade. You know, give yourself that guarantee. Put the odds in your favor if you're only shooting 50 pounds. And the other thing is, if you're shooting only 50 pounds and shooting a fixed blade, don't shoot. Keep your shots 25 and in. He's 28, 29 yards. Put the odds in your favor. Keep it less. So what? You don't kill that 180-inch deer because he's at 29, 32 yards. He's out of your comfort zone. Don't do it. Don't risk it. Put the odds in your favor. He walks by, okay, fine. Let him walk. It's okay to let a deer walk. But there again, you gotta know your limits. Don't overstep them. For the longest time, I would not shoot a deer at 30 yards. Would not do it. But what I did to make sure, though, is I would run back and forth between my targets, get my heart beating and everything, and purposely rush my shot, mentally go through what it's going to try and mimic as much as what I could an adrenaline rush when out shooting my bow. And I still do that to this day. It may not look like it, but I do. But understand your limits and practice that in the off season. Okay? I'm not saying, you have to run back and forth, yada, yada. You don't have to do what Cam Haynes does and all them other, guys. I'm not saying go to that extent. I'm saying just get out and shoot. One of the best people that I've known so far when it comes to doing all that, MFJJ and John Dudley. They'll walk you through step by step to help you out with your shot. I'm still learning off of them, and I've been doing this for years, and there's still things that I could pick up. So I know, even if you're 50 some years old, you can still learn from them. Just watch them. You might pick up something, you might not. I'm not saying you gotta like and subscribe and all that to their page. I mean, it's not going to hurt them, but you can watch it and give them the view. But whatever. I mean, if you don't like them, okay, fine. Don't do it then. But like I said, my personal opinion, you want to learn, there you go. You want to learn about what deer do and why they do it, James Kroll. He'll be able to tell you a lot. Dr. Deer, he'll be able to tell you a lot. You got to really understand what you're going after and prepare, physically, mentally, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, after doing all that, one scenario, 50 pounds, shoot a fixed blade, keep your shots close, put the odds in your favor to be successful. Whatever it is that's legal. If it's legal to bait, put your bait pile 10 yards from where you're hunting. So be it. Who cares? It's legal. Hunt the way you want to hunt. Okay? No judgment. I personally don't care. If it was legal to bait in Iowa, you can bet your rear end I'd be hunting over a corn pile or soybeans, whatever, to draw in the deer and shoot one off. Okay? If it's legal, do it. Put the odds in your favor. Quit the shaming on people where it's legal in some states. Oh, you shot that 180-inch deer over a corn feeder, blah, 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 blah. So what? There's other things that hunter had to do to outsmart that deer. You don't know all the prep that it took to train to get that deer to feel comfortable to come in daylight hours and for that guy to be 10 yards away. It still takes skill. And to be able to pull off a good shot because, oh no, this deer is coming in. Oh crap, what? Hello, adrenaline rush, it's happening. Just like some of the memes out there. Oh my God, what? There he is. Finish it. Some people can't. And then you got your trolls. Oh, you shot him over a corn pile. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Stop that shit. We don't need the division when it comes to hunting.
We already got enough against us.
Exactly. Why pin each other against it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you shot him with a crossbow. Stop.
We literally have other groups of people that are trying to end what we love doing. They're
Yes.
doing it little by little. Like freaking Kansas with their trail cameras.
Iowa started.
Iowa started. Now we got California, goofy ass state, should be off on its
California.
own.
I'll say it. That's how I feel. California.
And you can't hunt bear with dogs. You can't trap. There's certain animals you can't trap anymore. I think they banned trapping altogether.
Oh, I don't know.
And-
If you know, comment. Let us know. Did they ban?
Yeah.
Did they ban it in California
I
altogether?
think they did. In Washington, you can't trap beaver anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
you have to live trap them. You can't
yeah.
use.
Let's stop the bickering. Okay. Enough's enough. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, who gives a rat's rear end? Does it affect you?
Spring hunt. Spring hunt for bear. You can't do that in Washington anymore.
There you go.
So I mean, we got enough that's against us. They're winning this battle little by little. They're taking little things, and they're banning it.
So we all need to band together and put aside our differences of, oh, you're just a crossbow hunter. Oh, you only rifle hunt.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yep.
There's a whole nother skill set when it comes to rifle hunting. I've done it. It takes a lot. You really got to know your equipment if you're sitting there taking a shot over 250 yards. Been there. Okay? I've done it out west. There's a whole nother level of skill that goes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Yep. I might have to crossbow hunt just because of my freaking.
You want to joke about it? That's one thing. But the continually, nonstop, bash and bash and bash and actually mean it. Stop.
Yep.
We don't need the division in this. We need to band together. Strength in numbers.
Yep.
You know?
Oh, another thing. The one thing that's making us look freaking bad is those ones that think they're hunting, but they're not. Those huntresses.
They help the sport.
Well, I guess
Stop.
they help to stop.
Stop.
They help the sport.
Exactly. Stop.
But anyway.
They're wanting to, so be it.
Yeah.
Maybe so what? It's for a photo shoot. Who cares? You know? Just stop the shaming, okay? There's a lot of successful women hunters out there. Just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's none of us are all perfect in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Chris Brackett, he had his deal. So what? Everybody makes mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to learn from the guy. He knows his stuff when it comes to shooting big whitetails. I'm going to learn from him. Bomar, he knows his stuff when it comes to bow hunting. So what? Everybody makes mistakes. Now, you want to continually make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Okay, now we're going to have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But when it's a one-time deal, you know, or things didn't go through the way that I wanted to, okay, stop. They're in the industry. Okay? They're going to do it. All right? Now, they're a hunter. Don't pin them against us, you know, because those guys are going to have a lot more pull because they're higher up in the food chain when it comes to this industry, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it is an industry, whether we want to believe it or not. But we need to stop that, you know. Shoot, you know, oh, you shoot a mechanical. Oh, you don't know what you're talking. Stop, okay? This is off of personal experience when it comes to broadheads, okay? You know, like I was saying, 50 pounds, you know, even 40 pounds. Shoot this guy right here. Okay? Keep your shots 25 yards and in. You're going to be successful. Especially when you don't take a questionable shot. Slightly quartering away, broadside only, you will be successful. As long as you do everything right.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're shooting 60 pounds, whatever. All right, fine. Tinker with a broadhead. But shoot a rear deploying broadhead. Shoot one where the blades come out. and they don't take a lot of force to push back. 60 pounds, it's questionable shooting an over the top expandable where the blades have to come out and not rear deploy. Okay, I don't have one with me at the moment. I forgot to bring one, but if you're going to shoot an over the top expandable, do your research on them. You know, is it held together mechanically? Is it held together
With
with,
a rubber band.
you know, do all that. Research it. Check them out. Find out all you can. By all means, ask the manufacturer. Message them, hey, this is my setup. You know, I shoot a regular Carbon Express arrow with the basic components in it, and I want to shoot a 100 grain broadhead. Okay? Ask them. They'll point you in the right direction. They'll know they made it. Okay? You know, one of the big guys like me, him, whatever, you know, that want to shoot 70 pounds, yeah, anything's on the table. You know?
But I won't be shooting vertical.
Right.
I'll be one of those crossbow guys, possibly. And then
And who cares? And who cares?
I just gotta talk to my doctor yet first.
But anyways, back on broadheads. So the whole deal is, when it comes to broadheads, got to do some research on them, okay? And some of the best people out there would be, you know, John Dudley's done a few things, MFJJ's done a few things, Bomar's got his, you know, beast broadhead out. He's got videos up showing, you know, shooting it with a kid bow and the blades deploying, you know. Another one out there with one of the better ones, I think, is John Lusk. You know, he shows, you know, a penetration test and everything else, and shows, you know, kind of what it does. Another one is, I can't think of the guy's real name, but he's got Chest Thumper Outdoors. He does a lot when it comes to broadheads, and it's a lot of his personal experiences, kind of like with me, you know. And, you know, he goes through his own process and how he chooses broadheads, you know. Can learn from all these people, you know. Hopefully you'll be able to learn a little bit from me. You know, I'm not doing tests at the moment, which I'll probably, you know, when it gets into that point to where, you know, I'll sit there and I'll do the test and what matters on my end of things, you know, what I look for in a broadhead. But everybody that talks, oh, rages are crap. Rages, I never shoot a rage. Only had issues with rage. Why did you have an issue with the rage? When you follow the procedure on putting the collar or the rubber band in, okay? I never had an issue with them. This guy never had an issue with them. Killed a lot of deer shooting a rage. I killed a lot of deer shooting a rage. Killed a lot of deer shooting a 75 grain broadhead. It all boils down to shot placement.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rush a shot. What happens when you rush on anything?
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom do you come out on top, because there's going to be mistakes made when you rush. Slow things down to your pace. You just put the odds in your favor.
Native Americans used a rock.
Exactly. Shot placement. You didn't see Indians getting in front of a running bison. They went up the side, and a lot of their shots, broadside. Why does everybody preach broadside? No, oh, you're a gun hunter. Take any shot possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to risk shooting up the butt? Fine. You know, yeah, you're going to knock it down. You're going to have to put another one in it. Is it one of the best shots? No. You still going to kill it? Yeah, if you're quick enough to put another shot in it.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot them broadside, a lot of deer go down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Frontal, not good. I've done it.
that's where we're gonna be different.
I tried frontal, not good.
You gotta really, you're gonna take a frontal shot. You got an area a little bit wider than this bottle. Be able to go right through where you're not gonna hit a bone, nothing, and you're gonna take out so many vital. You're gonna hit so many vital things before your arrow even makes it 10 yards or 10 inches into the thing that's gonna kill that deer or anything that you're shooting. Okay? You really gotta understand. You're gonna take a frontal. I mean, it's gotta be a true frontal. Otherwise, you're asking for a world of hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I've been offered frontal shots, and I'll sit there, and this guy can vouch for me. I can hit this pop cap 99% of the time out to 15 yards. A lot of average Joe Schmoes can do the same thing. Okay? And I've thought of taking frontal shots, but if I have the slightest doubt, I'm not taking the shot. And that's what a lot of people need to understand and realize. Unless you're 100% know that when you release that arrow, and everything's in your favor, I wouldn't do it. And that helps me out a lot. I mean, he sat with me. He's like, "Aren't you gonna shoot that deer?" No. It's not doing what I want it to do. I'm not gonna risk. I've lost too many deer to bad. That damn clock. Every time.
It's 9:00. It's my bird clock. Leave me alone. It has different species of birds on there, and it makes their sound.
Anyways, that's kind of a rant when it comes to broadheads and deals, but he can vouch. He's seen me pass on shots that he knows I can make.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I'm 100%, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And he's seen me take shots like, what the fuck were you thinking? Well, I understood. I knew it was in my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
The odds were in my favor. I understood everything with my equipment, my arrow flight, what was going to happen, and waited for the most opportune moment. And yeah, I shot through an opening that big.
Arcing an arrow, no
Yeah.
equipment.
Yeah. Stack everything you can into your favor when it comes to bow hunting. If it means you only want to shoot these, so be it. Shoot them. Have fun. Do your thing.
You don't have to be like everybody else.
You
You
wanna?
gotta have the.
You only want to shoot these. Do it. Have fun. Just know there are limits. Even with shooting a fixed blade, you have limits.
You don't need the hot new item off the shelf. Do you?
No, and that's a whole nother thing.
You can just use Stinger broadheads. We
That's
won't judge.
No, that's another thing here. Okay. The broadheads I'm shooting this year are Max One's Amazon special. They look, Rage knockoff. Okay. I did my research on them. Lusk shot him. He hardly had, he's got his doubts when it comes to mechanicals, but what I look for in it, it's like, oh, and the shots that I take on animals, that broadhead's going to perform the way I want it to, or in theory, should perform the way I want it to. So I'm going to give it a whirl.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it mean that I'm going to sit there and take 60-yard bombs this year? Absolutely not.
I wouldn't put it past them, though.
I mean, if I go out and buy a different pack of broadheads that I've used in the past, which I'm known to do,
Yes. He'll
Uh,
go in the middle of deer season, buy a whole brand new different bow. Right in the middle of deer season, he'll do it.
always off topic.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's just the way you are.
But anyways,
Whole different setup too. Middle of deer season.
and how much time do I spend doing it before I go out?
Quite.
Hours and hours and hours and hours.
Mm-hmm.
I will blow an entire day on making sure it's going to perform the way I want
Yep.
to. That's not, oh, I'm going to go buy a bow. Oh, I shot it at Shields. Oh, okay, I'm going to go sit in the deer stand an hour later.
No, he'll spend a whole day, blow a whole day. You won't
I-
even go out till it does what he wants.
Until it does exactly what I want it to do.
Yep.
Down to everything. Arrow flight,
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
And, you know, let's say you're budget front, you know, oh, I don't have the money to get into it. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one. Buy the shit off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy a total setup. Bow, sight, rest, ready to shoot for less than $300. You can spend less than $500 and have a decent shooting bow and broadheads, arrows, the whole shebang. Hell, you could probably have less than $400 in it.
Yep.
Okay? Here's the thing though. Take the time to understand that bow.
Mm-hmm.
Understand it. Understand how your arrow is going to arc with it. You know, what does it do? Does it go up, come down? Does it just flat? You know, what does it do? How does it perform? Understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do your research on the broadheads. Do the research. I can't stress that enough.
Arrows.
Yes. If anybody will tell you, if you're going to spend the money on anything when it comes to archery, spend it on your arrows. That I will say.
Mm-hmm.
Spend it on the arrows. You know, if you can afford the new Ultras or Sirius arrows, buy them.
Yeah.
They will perform. If you can't, okay. If you can only afford to buy the knockoff Amazon brands, buy them. Just understand them. Put the odds in your favor. Do the research on it. Oh, it's 0.006 straightness, which isn't that great. Do your research on it. How can I make this arrow better? Put the odds in your favor. You know, and there's a lot of videos out there that are stating, you know, knowing which end to cut off an arrow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that way you get that wobble out of it. So that way you get an arrow that flies straight and true and does what you want it to do. You know, if you're totally new to everything, watch the Ranch Fairy on what he talks about when it comes to the Vital V, where a lot of the major arteries and veins and everything when it comes to the lungs and everything else, you know. Watch that. Learn from that. You know, if you want to sit there and, oh, well, he says shoot a 650 grain arrow. Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. Shoot your 650 grain arrow. Realize that you're going to have a hard time, you know, getting a lot of punch at a further distance. You know, and he'll sit there and, oh, well, my lab and yada, yada, yada. Okay? But it is going to slow down. You are going to lose a lot of momentum shooting a heavier arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I have shot numerous deer with an arrow that weighs less than 400 grains. Okay? I'm not saying to do that. I've done it. But the personal preference, I have shot a lot of deer that with my arrow setup where, you know, it was a lightweight arrow and it flew extremely fast. I shot through I don't know how many deer with an expandable. I shot one deer twice. Never knew it was even hit. He can vouch for me. Right? You shoot a deer where you're supposed to. You shouldn't have to worry about nothing. So, understanding your equipment, number one. Number two, the anatomy of the animal you're going after and where to shoot them. You got to understand that. And this all relates, and it's all going to circle back to broadheads. Okay? Number three, once you understand your setup, oh, I only shoot 50, 55 pounds. You know, I hunt out west. You know, my shots could be further away. Okay. Don't shoot a heavy arrow. Shoot a lighter arrow. Put a fixed blade broadhead on it. That's going to fly true. Now, I'm not saying, you know, you want to shoot a great big one that, you know, 1.5 inch cutting diameter, yada, yada, yada. Okay, realize that you're screwing wings on the front of your arrow. Here, hand me one of those arrows over there. It doesn't matter. One preferably with fletching. One preferably with fletchings on it. Just any one of them. You grab the, out of all those arrows, there you go. That's helping steer the arrow in the back. That's going to steer the arrow in the front. Understand it, what it's going to do, and understand what screwing one of these on and having these on. And having whatever you have on the back here. This one's a 4 fletch blazer. Okay? If you only got a 3 fletch and it's a helical, that's going to change. We've got one of them. You know, you got your helical here. It's a left helical. These 2 arrows are going to change in the way they, in their flight. You screw one of them on, it's also going to change it. Same thing. You hear everybody say, oh, field point, field point. I don't care what anybody says. This right here and this right here are not going to mimic to the fullest extent of this. It will not. So, understand your setup. Understand the anatomy of what you're going after. Know your flight characteristics of your arrows. Okay? This will fly different than with this on the front of it. This arrow with this broadhead is going to fly different than this. These two together are going to fly different, even with this on the front end of it. All due to what you have on the front end. Okay? And I know there's going to be people, you know, oh, well, you can kill deer with a field point. It's not recommended. Highly not recommended. But I can't say this enough. Do your research. Do your homework. And shoot them. Your broadheads come in packs of 3. Some of them even come with packs of 2. My personal experience, buy what you can afford and buy 2 packs of them. And use one, if it's an over-the-top expandable, use something to keep your blades closed or whatever, and shoot into a layered styrofoam target, like the old style blocks where you can see the layering, or some of the Delta ones. Use one of them, and don't care so much where you aim at the start or where your arrow hits at the start. see if your arrow is going straight, or if it's got a wobble, or doing one of these numbers.
Corkscrew.
Yeah. See what it's doing first. Then go into, okay, it's not hitting where I want to, but it's flying straight. Then you get into, okay, moving your rest, doing, and there again, doing your homework, understanding, is the bow tuned properly? If, let's say, all things aside, your bow is 100% tuned in every which way, shape, form there is possible. Okay, paper tuned, all that. You got the right twists in the cables. Your timing, everything is perfect. Okay, as perfect as everything can be.
Go to a bow shop for that.
Yes, make sure, or you want to do it on your own. Watch Dudley.
Yep.
Best guy out there to be able to do all that. Anyways,
recommended go to a bow shop.
Yes.
Don't go to Shields.
There's good ones at Shields.
Yeah,
we're not gonna badmouth anybody. We're not doing it.
There's good ones at Shields, but
you've had bad experiences. I've had bad experiences.
Yes, go to a bow shop.
Yes. Everybody's allowed to have their differences. Okay. I'm not gonna put Ranch Fairy down for pushing 600 plus grain arrows at shooting animals. Okay. Everybody's got their own cup of tea.
Right? Is he trying to convert a bow into a gun?
He does a lot of hog hunts.
Oh well, I get.
They got a huge, tougher shoulder. That is
true.
It is going to take more weight to bust through and hit that pig's vital V. Now, if that's what you're going to mainly be hunting,
okay, yeah, go shoot your 600 grain.
Watch him. He's going to tell you everything you need to know. He is extremely good on that. You're going to be hunting whitetails, mule deer, antelope, that sort of thing. Take all that for a grain of salt, but look what he's telling you about the anatomy, because it's all still the same, within the same general area when it comes to shooting a whitetail, antelope, all them.
Bear is different though.
Yes, it is, but anyways, my point is don't
study your animal.
Study everything, learn what you can from the Ranch Fairy, the hunting public guys, anybody on TV, Waddell, all them, John Dudley, MFJJ, all those guys. Learn as much as you can. Okay? And like I said, you just put the chips on your side of the table.
Yep.
The more you put on your side of the table, the more successful you're going to end up being. Understand your limits. Biggest thing too. I might sound like a broken record, but I am a firm believer that if all the bow hunters would take just slightly quartering away to broadside shots and understood everything to a T, you would have and understood how their broadheads were deployed and the design of them, you would see a lot less wounded deer running around from bow hunters. You might see Lee take 50, 60-yard shots on deer. You're not seeing all the work that Lee puts into what he's doing behind the scenes with shooting. I thought he was crazy when he took almost a 100-yard shot at a bull elk. He practiced it. He understood what his equipment was going to do. He felt confident. He ended up killing that elk. Why knock him on it?
Yep.
You understand your setup and understand what it can do and what you want it to do at that point in time. And you're confident, take it. Now, when something goes wrong, don't blame Oh, my broadhead didn't perform. Oh, it didn't do this. Oh, it didn't do that. Well, you just learned the limit of that broadhead. Okay? Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
You're set up and wanting to do that, you just learned it's not going to happen. You got to change your setup if you're going to continue to do that. You got to change your broadhead. You got to change your arrow. You might have to start all over from scratch. But when you go down into it, and this is a huge rabbit hole that you can go down when it comes to broadheads and everything that comes down to it. I mean, this arrow and this arrow, two different diameters. They're going to fly different. Okay? Like I said, broken record. Understand everything you can.
Mm-hmm.
Shot placement is way up there, I would say dead level with understanding your equipment. Because if you understand your equipment and you do the right shot placements, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be successful. Plain and simple. You're going to be successful. Okay? And knowing your limits. Understand your equipment, understand shot placement, know your limits, and don't exceed your limits. You're going to be successful. You know, take it from somebody that wants to stretch those limits. It's not worth it. The way that you feel after doing that, it's not worth it.
And somebody that's pretty much bought every single freaking arrow that's on the market,
I haven't bought the new ones yet.
except for the Black Eagles.
Oh, I've got Black Eagles.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You've got Black Eagles?
Yeah.
Okay, you bought Black Eagles. Never mind, right?
I haven't bought the Sirius or the Ultras or the other ones, the other high dollar ones.
I didn't know you bought Black Eagles.
Yeah, I had Black Eagles last year because I shot 2 different bows and 2 different setups. And believe it or not, if you really want to save money, go old school.
Aluminum arrows.
Aluminum arrow, fixed blade broadhead, shooting any bow as long as it's the right spine. That's a whole nother thing. Right spine, and you put everything that I've said together, you'll be successful. I shot a 2315 last year for one of my setups, and I shot an expendable broadhead. I limited my shots to under 30 yards. Blew completely through the deer. Deer ran 20 yards, plopped over dead. When I was younger, the first deer I ever shot, I was 10 years old. I was shooting a 2117 Easton Double X75 2117 aluminum arrow. Shooting an NAP, what are they?
Crossfire?
No. They're fixed blade. Can't even think of the name of them right now.
The only NAP I ever shot was their over the top expandable.
Yeah. Oh, I can't even think of the name.
Anyway.
Yeah. You know, old school style broadhead. 85 grains.
You mean you didn't shoot the stingers?
Oh, I shot magnets too.
No. Not at that time, on that. But anyway.
No, a lot of it was the NAPs and
With a whisker biscuit.
not even a whisker biscuit. It was a prong. Old style.
Prawn.
It was the old style floppy prong, up and down. I even shot fingers, so I even had the flapper rest,
Oh my God.
because I shot fingers for the longest time, and shot 75 grain Muzzy broadheads, and I was shooting 45 pounds. Never had an issue when it came to penetration on a deer. I was 9 years old, first year bow hunting, just before a rainstorm, and this is the only reason I lost that deer is due to the rain. And I had one entry hole. Well, no, I think I had two, because more than half my arrow was sticking out of it. It was a 20-yard shot. I was shooting 39 pounds, and I was shooting a 2017 Easton aluminum arrow, 75 grain Muzzy broadhead. I hit the deer just a little bit back, knew that we hit lungs, waited an hour and a half, started tracking it in the rain, and lost the blood. And come to find out, 2 days later, from the people that hunted out there, told us where they found it, and it was another 70 yards from where we were, where we last lost blood. Was underneath a log that tree that had fallen over. We were just far enough away that we couldn't see the deer when we went out the following day. But we understood my equipment. We did our research at that time frame. Granted, back in the mid-90s, didn't have the internet, everything else. It was all from word of mouth information and people's personal experiences at that time frame. It worked. It killed the deer. The following year, I graduated up to shooting 45 pounds. Again, fixed blade broadhead. Shot was 20 yards and less. Entry exit, deer runs 80 yards, falls over dead. It all comes down to shot placement. Can't stress that enough. I mean, you've got a big area on a deer to be able to hit when it comes to shooting them in the chest. You hit anything in the chest and put an entry and exit hole in it with any broadhead that's out on the market, whether it be the Mega Meats, a Stinger, 3-blade Muzzy, Schwacker, you name it. You understand your equipment enough, and you put an entry and exit hole in it, and it's in the rib cage of that deer, you're gonna kill that deer. Okay. Now there is such thing as, oh well, I didn't hit this or I didn't hit that. It all comes back to understanding the anatomy and the area that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about way high, not talking about way low. I'm talking about where you're supposed to aim on a deer inside the rib cage, and it's a big area. Do your research. You have a big area. You hit in that area, you're going to kill the deer. You're going to take out both lungs. Plain and simple. You just got to understand your setup.
Yep. I got nothing. You said it all.
I don't even know how I'd even close that.
I don't know.
I mean,
I was just told that my kid won't go to sleep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, part of what we do.
Yeah. So.
I mean, but the thing of it is, though, like I said, can't say this enough. Do your research when it comes to arrows, broadheads, your bow, everything. Do your research. Stay within your limit. Practice, 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 practice. Understand your equipment. Understand its limits. Understand the animal that you're going after. Put everything you can in your favor and go out and have fun. And don't bash anybody that's following the rules with it.
And everybody's made poor shots. Everybody's made bad shots. They've missed.
Bad shots are going to happen. Misses are going to happen.
Yep.
If you bow hunt long enough, something bad is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in control of how often that happens by doing all the things I just said. Practicing, understanding your equipment, understanding the animal you're going after, your process on how you're doing everything. Figure out where it went wrong, fix it, go back out, do it again, and stay positive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And don't be afraid to ask for advice.
Yep.
And don't sit there and be like, oh, well, I have to spend $4,000 to get into archery. No, you don't. If you've got the money, go buy the best of the best. Go buy the beast broadheads. Go buy, go drop $400 on a dozen arrows. $500 or $800 on the site, all that. By all means, yeah, go drop the money if you got it. If you don't knock somebody for buying their stuff off of Amazon because they want to go out and enjoy the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So what oh, they're not supporting America. Oh, they're not doing this. In the long run, they're going to, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might be spending their money to get into it, buying all their stuff off Amazon. Well, they're going to contribute when they go on that hunting trip. They get the hotel room, campsite, whatever, buy the tag, license, all that, gas, food, all. They're contributing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Unlicensed tag.
Yeah, said all that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
But, and if they're a first timer, there you go. Maybe they can't afford all that money. If they can, yeah, point them in the right direction. You got to stick together on this. Got to try and help everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't say it enough.
Yeah.
The bashing's got to stop. Oh, you shoot mechanicals. Just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Help a person out. If they are struggling, help them out.
If you see a lonely guy off in a shooting range, not a shooting range, was it archery shoot, lone guy, struggling, let him join your group.
Yeah, be helpful. Don't be the basher. Don't be the troll.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more people that we do get involved in the sport, the better off our sport's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we can get more women involved. We, get the kids, women involved. And we just gotta stop. We gotta stop all the bashing, stop all the hate, and start banding together. So,
But anyway,
please stop the bashing. Do your research. Understand your equipment. Understand your animal. Put all the odds in your favor. Everything you can. Do your homework. If you don't have the time, do what you can. You don't have to be like me, eat, live, sleep, breathe, all this stuff and all that, But do the best that you can. Do everything you can to put as much into your favor. And if it limits you, don't extend those limits.
all right, we're out.
And I don't know what we'll talk about next, but
We'll get there.
it should be good. A little less serious sort of deal thing going on, but yeah, we'll get her figured out. We'll be dropping them. If you have comments, leave comments. If you're one of the trolls that want to sit there and bash, go ahead, leave it.
That still helps us out.
Yeah. You like everything? Got questions?
Well, it
Leave,
helps them out.
leave something in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, notification, all that fun jazz. And like I said, you know, just get out there and make it fun once again.
This river rat's going to bed.
And I'm heading home.
All right.